Being the church is about being connected, listening to one another, and accepting each other like sisters and brothers.
Let's be the church together.
Well, I know that I can go to my pastor whenever I need to. I know that the small group that I'm in, I can always bring up problems or celebrations within that small group. And there's just other people that I feel comfortable with in the congregation that I could share problems with and not feel bad about whatever problem I was going through.
I think the Lutheran Church may do it better than a lot of other churches. With the fellowship hall that we have in the back is one of the biggest rooms in our church. So I guess that kind of goes to show, aside from the sanctuary, that kind of goes to show how much we, respect community in the Lutheran Church and this church in particular.
I think we're one of the most involved churches in Syracuse, and people, if they know that Lutheran Memorial is doing this event, they will come to it they're like, oh, we kind of set the example for how a community is supposed to act.
Yeah, community is a very big part of church, especially this church. It's a small church, so everybody knows everybody, and if somebody needs something, somebody from the church, I can guarantee you will help the other person out, no matter what it is.
You're going to come from all ages, all backgrounds, all denominations, but there's one focus, and that is Jesus Christ. But from that, you have so many outreaches that people can get involved with certain things that that's important to them, whether it be mission work, whether it be youth education, whether it be singing. There's all sorts of different smaller communities within this larger community, and that is what gives the church the longevity.
Our church is so open to people that want to come to worship. We have an open door. There are a lot of groups that meet here. Our church is very active with the Habitat for Humanity and with the food pantry and Service Day. We started this group about 3 years ago. We crochet from 9 o'clock till 11 every Tuesday morning, and we make prayer shawls. We've made almost 500 prayer shawls, I think, that have been given out. So our church does a lot of different things, and I think that involvement gives an awareness that Jesus Christ is with us always.
A family reunion where all the extended family gets together. You're super excited to see each other. You're there to support each other, find out what's been going on, those words of encouragement. But when everybody goes to leave, you're also going to pray for each other until you see each other again.
When they welcome you at the door, because you're just a brand new person to them, and then they show you, go get a cup of coffee or something, start talking to you.
I think if I didn't see how involved we were, and if we weren't as involved and as supportive as we were, that I wouldn't feel as this place was a place that I belong. It's so important to for people to see that your church is doing these things, and they'll be like, wow, I want to be a part of that.
Good community in church would probably look like this church. I mean, our church is centered around our community, so without our community, we really wouldn't have as nice of a church as we do.
I think a good community looks like a group of people that may come from different backgrounds, but they are focused on, their main focus is one thing and one belief, which in the church hopefully is Jesus Christ.
The instant you walk in the door, that instant invitation, and not just welcoming, literally inviting, because there is a difference there. Welcoming is like, oh, welcome, we're so glad to have you. But inviting is, come, sit with us, there's a place at this table for you.
Good community is reaching out to others who need help and letting them know that that Christ is there for them too.
Peers are so important to our kids. You know, they want to go where their buddies go, and they want, okay, come to church, you know, and okay, great. Then when their friends walk into our church, they want the people who they're bringing in to feel loved and to feel welcome and to feel like it's a place that they could see themselves belonging to. We all love to be around our friends, of course. We want to be around people who we have things in common with. So.
One of the best examples I think and I can relate to is just Bible school in general. I've taught in 3 different Lutheran churches Bible school, and I love that kids from all denominations and kids that may not even go to church come to Bible school, and I feel like it's our best chance to teach them about Jesus and God's grace, and just to really grab their attention with what we believe in our Christian faith, and show them that, you know, they're accepted and loved.
This church does a lot of stuff in the community and just tries to help any organization that would need help. I know when I was in Luther League here, we went down to Texas and served at homeless shelters and fed the homeless and did like after school programs for some of the kids, and then did the orphan grain train in Norfolk and Feed the World company in Norfolk. And it's just a lot of just helping what needs to be helped and who needs to be helped.
It's just important to know that our church is reaching out to everyone, and you know, you can hear people talk about their church, and if they're not excited about their church, maybe they're not all about spreading the gospel.
We're a society that's so nuclear and so self-involved that anytime somebody else is stretching out and saying, hey, I still care about you, even though you're not going to be here anymore, even though there's different circumstances that I don't know how to handle, that's so personal, and it makes such a difference.
Or after we go to Sunday school, which is at like 9:45 on each Sunday, we have this time in between and even before that when people can gather together, and all sorts of people. You know, I mean, I sit there, but you know, older generations and maybe a generation after me and my generation obviously sit there, and I notice every day it seems like people are sitting with different people. So that's another really awesome part about this church, is that we do a really great job of making sure everybody feels that invitation. And not just, okay, I'm gonna sit with these people because I know them, but being able to walk out and say, hey, I haven't caught you before at this, you know, and that sort of inviting spirit that we really capture here. Even like the welcomers that they might have there, if they're not really passionate with that handshake and that, you know, hey, you know, welcome here, and I hope that you can, you know, find, you know, that continued relationship is really important. And the instant you walk in the door, you can really judge that and really judge the spirit that the people have for what they're doing and what they're about.
Growing up in a small town, one of the things that you get is rivalries between schools and different things like that. I think churches tend to do that too. You know, my church is better than your church. And that's such a turnoff to individuals that are coming in from the outside. They want to be able to come in and think, okay, I'm getting welcomed. But if we're so proud of who we are and what we're doing, we're going to just emulate something that we really shouldn't be. And that's just counter to our core belief system.
Like if no one talked to you, because you're in a brand new church, and it's like, shouldn't someone come and talk to you? I'd get out of that church. Find a new one, yeah. Because you want to feel like family.
I would say people who do it for themselves and not for the real cause. That's the biggest thing, is when people are selfish and do it, because it'll make me look good, instead of actually helping the cause.
Judgmental comes to mind, a church that doesn't make you, where you have to conform to their ways and believe specifically their ways, because there's lots of denominations out there, and I believe God made this world to house all of our denominations, and Lutheran Lutheranism just happens to fit my heart. And so, I love being a Lutheran, but my, Calvinist friends and my Baptist friends, God loves them too, and I love them too, and that's what works for them. A bad community would be one that doesn't let people be who they are, and if you're not exactly like I am, then you must be wrong, kind of that attitude.
Your status, like some people will think they're too high on the totem pole to be doing things like that for like helping the church out in the community. Like some people probably wouldn't have went out and helped homeless people and stuff like that, and even given their time back to the community.
I feel like the biggest hindrance to a good church community is just that there's so many other activities that compete with the church service, especially on Sunday. And that's just a challenge in our society today, that church isn't the first priority on Sunday. And I think that's hard.
Talking about community of churches, I have seen the occasion where one church more or less thinks that their way is the only way. They're all treated equally in his sights, and that's the way it should be, I think.
You've got a lot of different people that feel that their focus is the main focus, that everybody should be thinking about that. And, when you got people pulling in different directions, that can be a challenge. Lack of a better term, jealousy sometimes steps in, where a lot of times it's our human nature to want what we want and not what other people may want at that time.